Thanks for sticking with us here on ARC Seattle on your Friday. I'm Steve McCarran.
And I'm Tyra Majors. We begin this half hour with our Dollars and Cents segment. A recent investigation by Checkbook.org found widespread problems with vacation rentals, including fake listings and stolen deposits.
Even worse, many victims complain that the booking websites do little or nothing to help customers who were scammed. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum is here with the results of that investigation and what you need to know to protect yourself. Herb is a contributing editor at Checkbook.org. So Herb, there's a lot that can go wrong when you pay for vacation rentals, but Checkbook did an investigation focused on the renter. What did you guys find?
Yeah, the whole reason why you would decide to go through one of these booking platforms is to give you some protection, not doing this thing on your own. But we found that even with the big guys, if there is a problem such as there's a non-existing listing, scammers are trying to get your money, or the person you're renting from keeps your deposit erroneously or maliciously, and they won't give it back to you, the booking sites don't come to help you. They're not there to be your friend. We found that many victims who contacted Vrbo and also Booking.com didn't get any assistance from the booking platform. We looked at the terms and conditions for Vrbo and Booking.com specifically, and we're going to get to Airbnb in a minute here because they're a little bit different. But basically what they say is they're not a party to this transaction. They're just hooking you up, and the transaction is between you and the person that you're renting from, so that if you have a problem, you've got to work with them, not the booking platform. So we contacted people and also looked at complaints that have been filed, and there are people who've had a scam situation, a completely non-existent rental. They may have showed up and there's nothing there, or they found out ahead of time, or the renter kept their deposit and they should have returned the deposit when the booking was properly canceled, and the booking platform, Vrbo and Booking.com, didn't do anything for them. They may have promised a refund, but after months and months and months, and in a couple of cases, years, they never got the refund from the booking platform.
So isn't booking with one of these big websites supposed to be a way to avoid getting burned?
That's what we heard from the people who were victims. They said that's exactly why you do that, because you want the protection built in. The platforms advertise this protection, but as we found in our investigation, the protection might not be what you think it is.
And Herb, you talked with a woman who had the host cancel a reservation. She was out thousands of dollars and could not get Vrbo to help. Tell us about that.
Yeah, her name is Susan Chudd, and she was booking a reunion, and they wanted a house in Kentucky, found a great property, so they rented it through the website, followed all the procedures that were supposed to take place. The host canceled the reservation after they were kicked off the platform because they were found to be a problem company, probably scammers in this case. $7,000, and it was more than almost $800 in the fee that that Vrbo was taking for this thing. Contacted the platform. She said they were very friendly. They wanted to help. They said they were going to return her money, and then a couple of days later, she got an email from them that said, "Sorry, we're not going to return your money. You have to work with your credit card company. It's not our problem. You work with a credit card company. We're not even going to return our fee that you paid to us. You have to go to the credit card company, do a chargeback in order to get that money back." She said she was greatly disappointed. The whole reason why she booked with Vrbo was to get this protection that they said they were going to give her, and she just said it was a terrible experience having to fight to get her money back when something went wrong.
Wow.
Crazy. Did Checkbook contact Vrbo and Booking about the customer complaints you found?
We did. They basically sent us written statements that did not answer the key questions that we wanted to know, which is how many fraudulent listings do you block each year? How are they identified, and what protections do you actually provide people? But here are part of the statements that we received from them. For Vrbo, it was our Book with Confidence guarantee offers protections for travelers before, during, and after a stay, including payment protection against fraud listings, relodging assistance if travelers are unable to check in, and rebooking assistance if the host cancels their reservation at the last minute. And the response from Booking.com was, in the rare event that something does go wrong, our customer service teams are available 24/7 to support guests, including arranging alternative accommodations or providing a financial assistance when appropriate.
Interesting. So something important that viewers should know here is you guys found that when it comes to fraud, Airbnb does a better job at protecting its customers than Vrbo or Booking.com. Why is that?
Because with Vrbo and Booking.com, the money goes to the host right away after the reservation is confirmed. With Airbnb, they hold on to that money until they hear back from the renter that everything is okay. So if there were a problem, if it was a fraud listing, there wasn't the house there or the apartment there, whatever you were looking for, and you got there, or some other problem, such as the reservation was canceled, they haven't given the money to the host at this time. By giving it right away, it enables fraudsters to pull off these frauds. What Airbnb is doing slows that down, makes them more likely to be willing to give you a refund. And in our opinion, that's how the other two should operate. Build in that protection by not giving the money to the host. Hosts aren't going to like that, but don't give the money to the hosts until you know it's a legitimate transaction.
Are there things listeners who choose to rent a vacation property do to reduce their chances of having a problem?
Based on what we've seen and talking to people, there are 2 tips that Checkbook has. First of all, don't book a property until you take the time to look at the reviews, and you want unanimously positive reviews for this property. Look for anything that would be a red flag, such as the fact that they had problems with cancellation or they took the money or anything like that. So that's the number 1 thing to look at. And the number 2 thing to look at is only pay with a credit card. You do not want to use a debit card. You do not want to use a bank transfer. You do not want to use one of these payment apps. The only way to pay is with a credit card, because if you pay with a credit card, you're going to have that chargeback protection if something goes wrong, and especially if the booking site says, sorry, we can't help you. The people who did get their money back eventually were the people who went through their credit card company and got it back that way.
I've learned so much just in the last couple of minutes, Herb. Where can we find out more?
You can find out more by going to checkbook.org. The story is right on the top of the homepage. Also embedded in it is the podcast we did about this, or you can go to consumerpedia.org and listen to the podcast. By the way, Mrs. Consumer Man and I, we stay at hotels when we travel, which is about what 60% of the people in America still do, even though we hear about vacation rentals all the time.
All right. Thanks so much for the warning.
Good weekend.
You too.
Thanks.